Hello and welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So it's been many moons since I've talked about shows, talked about movies, etc. Because honestly, I want to say 90% of the movies they put out in theaters is pretty much crap. It shows by the ratings. All fans really want is just something good. If you make good stuff, we'll show up. We'll go watch it. Bad Boys, Ride or Die, solid movie. X-Men, I'm sorry, Wolverine and Deadpool, that looks fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super excited for it, and I will be there day one with my money. I'm gonna throw my money at Deadpool, baby, because Ryan Reynolds. Honestly, I think that's the biggest part of this whole situation is just Ryan Reynolds wants to put out a good product, and going by Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and of course Wolverine and Deadpool. It's gonna be another amazing hit for Ryan Reynolds because he's behind it. I mean, Disney bought the company. Disney bought Fox, so they got all the rights to pretty much all those characters that we've seen, like X-Men and all the other ones that Fox Studios had. So now Disney owns them all. But thank God Ryan Reynolds is still at the helm of Deadpool versus Wolverine, so he's got a lot to say what goes on into the movies. So anyway, let's talk about the Acolyte. Honestly, for me, I feel like Hollywood is dead. What I'm watching now is just other shows that I missed. Mostly on Netflix. That's where I watch pretty much majority of my shows. I don't really watch a lot of Disney shows, etc. I used to. I've watched the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. And then after that, I just kind of I don't know. And then they had the Book of Boba Fett, and then they had Osaka, Andor. I think I've watched one episode of Andor, but Acolyte, I have no interest in it. Honestly, I grew up with Star Wars, going way back. 4, 5, 6, amazing movies. And then, of course, to me, honestly, 7 was okay. So was 8. 8 was meh, but I still saw them all. They were decent movies. I feel like Hollywood has gotten into a place where they put themselves in this box where they have to cater towards a certain audience, and that's what's killing. That's what's killing Hollywood, honestly. And I'm probably gonna go see the what is it, the Quiet Place, the prequel. I'm gonna go see that. Honestly, this show, I've heard nothing but bad stuff about it. I mean, 14% audience scores, and that's why you can't trust any of these reviewers, man. They're bought and paid for. They are bought and paid for. They have to play nice with Disney. Otherwise, if they don't, then they will lose their access or early access to these movies. Ooh, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? There's certain journalists from the Forbes that still puts out, decent review, calls it out how it is. But there's very rare when it comes to actual critics that call out this bullshit that they made. And there's no doubt about it. There's not going to be a second season. With all the hate that they're getting from the show, and just pretty much ruining the whole allure of Star Wars. Honestly, if you are any kind of company, if you care about the product that you put out, you have to cater towards your audience, and the majority of your audience, honestly, it's male. Most of these Star Wars fans that grew up with this are men. Let's be fucking honest. You put out a show like Acolyte, and if women were your audience, or if you're trying to kind of cater towards women or certain groups, they're not fucking watching. And some of them says the show is fucking crap. You know what I mean? Even those certain groups that grew up with watching this stuff, they know this is just a pile of dog shit that should just throw it in the toilet and flush it. This show is fucking done. And I've read somewhere that majority of the casting and the crew are all women, but yet they are underpaid. That's crazy. How are you going to be trying to be, diversify and trying to include everybody, but yet you're underpaying the whole, like, it's hypocrites. They're just being hypocritical on this whole situation, honestly. Kathleen Kennedy has to go, but I've seen a video from Yellow Flash saying that that Kathleen Kennedy probably knows where Bob Iger hide the bodies, which makes sense. This bitch cannot get fired no matter how much she ruins Star Wars and everything else in it. She knows something. Oh, obviously the creator is Leslie Headland, which is the assistant to what's his name, the guy that got convicted of raping women or whatever. I can't remember his damn name. Harvey Weinstein. There you go. And you know damn well she knows some shit about Harvey Weinstein. She knows what the fuck he was doing. There's no fucking way. How are you gonna be an assistant to a monster and not know what the fuck is going on? She should have been convicted with his ass. But anyways, I digress. This show is a dumpster fire. I think Hollywood in general is a fucking dumpster fire. Let's see, even what is it? Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett has a better score than The Acolyte. It's got 50% audience score. I might check this one out though. Mysterious Benedict Society. That looks interesting, right? 90%. Mandalorian, I think they said third season and the fourth season was crap, but it still has a pretty positive audience scores. Honestly, for me, what it comes down to, anytime a movie comes out or anything like that, I automatically look for the audience score. I don't even bother with the reviewers, with these supposedly paid reviewers. Fuck that. I look at the audience score, and that's where I make my judgment. If most of the time, if a good content gets, if a good movie, should I say, if a good movie is hated by the critics, that usually means you're gonna freaking love it. So Bad Boys, Ride or Die, it's hated by the reviewers, but look at that audience score, 97%. 97%. And the so-called critics gave it a 60, or like overall a 64, which is still positive, but the audiences obviously love this fucking movie, and I myself am one of those audiences. I love that fucking movie. I would have gave it a 10 out of 10, because now the DEI crap, where diversity and exclusion or whatever, honestly, to me, I don't really give a fuck. Just make a good movie, make a good show, and people will come out and support the shit out of it. That's just the bottom line. You could include everybody. Find a way to include everybody if that's what you want to do, if it makes sense for the story. But don't try to force people into certain agendas, and that's where you just completely ruin it for everybody else. Because majority of the people don't really give a shit about any of that stuff. They just want good content. Doesn't matter whether you're, gay, straight, lesbian, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It just matter about the product that you put out. But when you're trying to force these agendas down our throat and just be a fucking being lectured about diversity and all that bullshit, then you start to lose majority of your audience, and people are just no longer interested in whatever the fuck you're making. But anyway, I literally put out at Disney, and this is stuff that comes up, like, Star Wars, we just want good plots and intense fighting scenes. Well, okay. Here's a diverse and queer girl boss getting lightsaber haircut. Oh, Disney right now. Honestly, obviously, there's gonna be heads are gonna roll, but the only person that's still gonna keep her job is Kathleen Kennedy, and that's the biggest problem there. Kathleen Kennedy has to go if Star Wars is ever going to win some of the fans. But honestly, I think majority of the fans already just kind of like moved on from this whole situation. They're done with it. Let's see what else. What else? Sir, the acolyte is down 13%. uh to my understanding, lightsabers are the most strongest weapon that a Jedi has, and the fact is that this mofo had like 3 strikes and he's still not dead. That is wild. Wild. But anyway, you guys let me know what your thoughts are. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully Disney gets itself in gear, but I think it's too little too late at this point. Except for Inside Out 2. That one got some decent reviews from critics as well as fans. So fans like it, so I might go check it out. But anyways, other than that, Disney, you keep going this route and you will lose a lot. I'm just waiting for Disney to be acquired by Apple at this point. To me, Disney is not what it used to be. I think we're only going to get one good movie this year. It's going to be Wolverine and Deadpool, besides Inside Out. Other than that, everything else is garbage. Just throw it in the trash. Don't waste your time. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.